morning, students. The arrangement of the ligands in the increasing order of the crystal field stabilization energy is called spectrochemical series. That is nothing but we have arranged the ligands. We have arranged the ligands in the increasing order of crystal field stabilization energy. That is nothing but these are strong field ligands. These are strong field ligands. If it is a strong field ligand, what it does? If it is a strong field ligand, then this will split the d orbitals. This will split the d orbital into into two different sets, and the extent of the difference in the energy will be very large. If it is this part, this end is weak field ligand. This end. So that is nothing but as we move from this end to this end, the ligand strength is going to increase. This is weak field ligand, and as it is continued, so the strength of the ligand is going to increase. The strength increases, then it splits the orbitals into with a very large difference of energy. So strong field ligand where the splitting, that is crystal field stabilization energy will be more. So and weak field ligand will split the crystal field energy will be less, and its strength is also very less. Its strength is less, so that's why the stabilization energy, crystal field stabilization energy is less. That is nothing but they will be closer to one another. There will be very less separation among these two sets. So we can conclude that one. This is very, very important. So copy down the statement properly. The arrangement of the ligands in the increasing order of the crystal field stabilization energy is called crystal field, a spectrochemical series. And one more thing in this you can observe. So weak field when it comes, so the halogens are with the weak field, then it comes with the oxygen atoms. So oxygen as the donors. First thing, halogens are with the weak field. After that, the strength of oxygen donors will be more when compared to the halogen atoms. So after that, you can observe here, after that we have carbon and nitrogen part. So then it will be moved on to the carbon ligand. So we have carbon ligands. So carbon related ligands here. So these are the carbon related ligands, are the strong field ligands. So if it is, we'll conclude that one. So if it is a strong field ligand, then what happens? If it is a strong field ligand, then so what it is nothing but crystal field stabilization energy, and it is denoted by delta. It is being denoted by delta. So it has high delta, that is nothing but high crystal field stabilization energy. And what it forms, what kind of complex it forms in our when we were discussing VBT, I said if it is a strong field ligand, then it forms a low spin complex. It is going to form low spin complex. If it is a weak field ligand, then it has a lower delta value. That is nothing but this distance or the extent of energy separation will be less, and it forms what it forms? It forms high spin complexes. This forms a high spin complexes. So strong field ligand will form low spin complex. Weak field ligand will form a high spin complexes. So it is very, very important. Mark it down as important, this part. So this is about spectrochemical series and crystal field theory in general we have studied. Now we'll move on to the octahedral complex. Crystal field theory in octahedral complex. In octahedral complex, how the ligand will be approaching the metal, how the splitting takes place, and how the electronic configuration, how the electrons will be arranged and all we shall observe. Crystal field splitting in octahedral complex. So in octahedral complex, how the ligand will be interacting with the central metal, we shall see. So in the octahedral complexes, the negative charge of the ligand, that is the negative charge of the ligand will be along the axis. Negative charge of the ligand. In octahedral complex, the negative charge of the ligand will be along the three axes. Which are those axes? X, Y and Z. So if the ligand approach the metal, if it is approaching the metal, then obviously the metal will experience an repulsion there. Already we have studied. So if the ligand is approaching the metal, then the metal will be metal with an d orbitals will be experiencing the repulsion there. So how it is we shall see. Already we have discussed once those things. The metal, it is metal with the degenerate d orbitals. Degenerate d orbitals. Then if a ligand approaches this one, the ligand is approaching the metal, then what happens? These orbitals will be experiencing the repulsion. So when it experiences the repulsion, so all the orbitals energy is going to increase. So this is called average energy. Average energy of d orbitals. Average energy of d orbitals. So one more diagram, with that also we can understand. So if at all, if it is a metal, and to this metal the ligand is approaching this metal. If all the metals, if all the ligands are approaching the metal, octahedral 6 ligands it will be. If all of them are approaching the metal with an equal distance, then a symmetrical structure or there is an symmetry is being observed. There is an symmetry we are going to observe. So what is that symmetry is? So that is nothing but spherical symmetry we call. So spherical symmetry in the sense it is in the form of a spherical. That is so around this you can observe. So with the same equal distance there, the ligands are approaching the metal with an equal distance. That forms an spherical structure or spherical symmetry around the metal atom. So ligand is approaching the metal, and the electrons of the ligand, that is electrons will be consisting of either negative charge or lone pair. Metal will be with the d orbitals. So metals in d orbitals there will be electrons. Electrons will be present in the d orbitals. So there will be an repulsion between these electrons and the electrons of metal. So when the ligands approaches the metal and all the ligands when they are in the equal distance, then that repulsive force are symmetrically distributed around the metal atom. So this is nothing but spherically symmetrical field. It is nothing but a spherically symmetrical field. Spherically symmetrical field. After that, what happens? So this is when the ligand approaches the metal. So because of this approaching, there will be repulsion. Due to that repulsion, the d orbitals of the metal will increase with some amount of energy. Since it is symmetrical, so the electrons, the repulsion experienced by the orbitals also will be symmetrical. That is the same amount of repulsion it is going to experience. So if it is experiencing same amount of repulsion, the increase in energy also will be similar. The similar amount of energy will be increased. Next, so in the beginning itself I said that the first point, that is negative charge of the ligand, will be along the three axes. That means that we have a d orbitals has been splitted into two parts. That is one is T2G set, where we have dxy, dyz and dzx. Another one is EG set. This is dx square minus y square and dz square. So in this case, if at all, if you observe, these are in between the axis, these are along the axis. These orbitals are along the axis, and our ligand is also along the axis. So the ligand is also along the axis and EG set is also along the axis. At that time, what happens? These orbitals, among these orbitals will experience more repulsion than this one. So at that time, if it is experiencing more repulsion, so then energy of these orbitals will be more when compared to this one. This will be experiencing more in repulsion. It is because these orbitals are also along the axis, and these will experience a less repulsion because they are in between the axis. So the orientation in a ligand and orientation of these orbitals are same. So that's why this will be experiencing more repulsion. More repulsion if it experience, then it will be showing a large amount of energy. It will be showing large amount of energy. So two orbitals have been increased with an energy there, and the remaining three will be experiencing less amount of energy. So that's why the energy of these orbitals will be less. So these are dxy, dyx and dzx. So the above one is dx square minus y square and dz square. We can call this one as EG set, and we can call this one as T2G set, or I'll write it here. So we can call this one as T2G set. So there is an difference in the energy. So these orbitals splitted because of orientation of the ligand. If orientation of ligand is symmetrical or it is along the axis, then these orbitals will experience more repulsion. So energy is more for them, and these experience less repulsion, so energy is less for them. Then, so there is one more point. So whatever the average energy is there, this is the average energy, and that average energy will mention that one as a barycenter. This is nothing but barycenter. That is the average energy for the both the sets, T2G set and EG set. Now in the octahedral complex, so EG set has been increased by the energy, plus 3 by 5 delta O. What is this delta O? Delta O is nothing but crystal field stabilization energy in octahedral complex, delta O. That is, delta O is nothing but the difference in the two sets, T2G set and EG set. The difference in energy in T2G set and EG set is mentioned as delta O. So delta O indicates the crystal field splitting in octahedral complex. So now EG set has been increased by 3 by 5 delta O, and T2G set is being decreased by, this is being decreased by minus 2 by 5 delta O. Minus 2 by 5 delta O. That is how the octahedral complex has been formed. So in an octahedral complex, metal approaching the ligand, it experiences a spherically symmetrical field around it because of the ligand approaching. So due to repulsion, the degenerate orbitals energy is going to increase. All the orbitals will increase in the same amount due to the spherically symmetrical field. Next, when ligand comes very closer to these orbitals, so in octahedral complex, ligands are along the axis. So that's why EG set, because of they also will be, these orbitals or the lobes are also will be along the axis. So because of that reason, they will experience more energy or more repulsion. So energy is increased. This will experience less repulsion. Energy is decreased. How much it is decreased? It is decreased by minus 2 by 5 delta O, and it is increased by plus 3 by 5 delta O. So when you consider the overall thing, it should be 0. So how it will be 0? We shall see. That is first 3 by 5. 3 by 5. That is overall thing means is nothing but we should consider the addition of these two things. The addition of these two things should lead to 0. So that is called as a net splitting. So we call that one as a net splitting. Net splitting should give rise to 0. That is equals to 3 by 5. How many orbitals are there? 2 orbitals. Dx square minus y square and dz square. Plus minus of 2 by 5. And how many orbitals? 3 orbitals. It gets cancels with one another. And that is 0. The value is 0 there. So the magnitude of energy of splitting depends upon the nature of the ligand. So already we have discussed that one. So the nature of the ligand is very, very important. If at all, if it is a strong field ligand, then it increases. So this whatever the delta O is there, it will be more. That is crystal field splitting in octahedral complex, it will be more. If at all, if it is a weak field ligand, then delta O will be less. So we have we have studied about the octahedral complexes. Next, so net splitting is 0. So we shall move on to the electron filling here. So these things I hope you understood. Dx square minus y square, dz square, dxy, dyz, dzx. 5 orbitals of metal. 5 d orbitals of metal here that had been splitted in this form. So now we shall see the electron filling. So the same thing, splitting I will be writing, and in that we shall see the electrons, how they are arranged or how it is filled. So if at all, if it is D1 to D3 system, D1 to D3 system, for D1 to D3 system, Hund's rule is followed. That is, pairing doesn't take place unless all the orbitals are filled with one electron each. So this is what splitting had taken. So half a part only I will be writing here. The same already we had written there. So the same thing already we had written, but now I am writing only the half part. The remaining part, so we don't require now. dy, dxy, dyz and dzx. So here dx square minus y square and dz square. The extent of splitting is being indicated by a symbol delta O. That is crystal field splitting in octahedral complex. So we shall mark that one properly. Delta O. Now, D3 system, how the electrons will be filled, we shall see. So 3 electrons we need to fill here. D1, D3, that is nothing but D1, D2, D3. So it follows Hund's rule, that is each orbital has to be filled with 1 electron each, then only the pairing will take place. 3 electrons if at all, if it is there in the metal, then so it will be filled in this manner. It will be filled in this manner, that is each electron in each orbital it will be filled. Next only pairing will take place. That is second point, that is D4 to D7 system. So D3 we have seen, until D3 it follows the Hund's rule. So where each electron will be, or the orbital will be occupying one electron each in the orbital, and the pairing takes place. So after getting 1 electron each in the orbital, after that only pairing will takes place. Next one. So we know that these are called as T2G set, that also will mention, and these are nothing but EG set. So for D4 system or D4 to D7 system, there are 2 possibilities. What are those 2 possibilities? We have 2 possibilities here. One possibility is, so the 4th electron, 3 electron already here, 4th electron may move to EG set, or it may pair up with DXY orbital also. So the 2 possibilities are, the electron may get paired up, the 4th electron may get paired up in T2G set, or it can move to EG set. So to decide that one, we have 2 parameters. What are those 2 parameters? First one is, the first parameter is, so remember D4 to D7 system we are discussing, and 2 possibilities. One thing, it may get paired up in T2G set itself, or it may go to EG set. So to decide these 2 parameters, we have to decide these 2 possibilities, we have 2 parameters, and those 2 parameters are, first thing, that is relative relative magnitude of crystal field splitting. Crystal field splitting in octahedral complex. The next one is pairing energy. So D4 to D7, that is nothing but 4th electron should accommodate, So the fourth electron, either it can pair up or it can move to Eg set. To decide that one, we have two parameters. One is relative magnitude of crystal field splitting in octahedral complex, that is delta O, and another one is pairing energy. What is this pairing energy? The energy required for electron pairing in a single orbital. The energy required for the electron to get paired up in a single electron. Why the energy is required? Energy is required because when electron has to be accommodated here, so already one electron is there in the orbital. So if one more electron has to be accommodated here, means that there will be repulsion. One more electron, if it comes, there will be repulsion among them. So that's why if at all, if electron has to be paired up here, so it should have some amount of energy to overcome that repulsion. So already one electron is there. If one more electron should come and it should pair up means, so in the same orbital, so accommodating one more electron, it may cause the repulsion or it causes the repulsion. So to overcome that repulsion, this electron should possess some amount of energy, and that energy is called as a pairing energy. Next, so what are the conditions? So in either if it is getting paired, then what is the condition? Either if it is shifting to Eg set, then what is the condition? So we shall see that one. So that is first condition, condition 1. So let me make that one as A. So if at all, if A is the condition, then in that condition, if delta O is less than P. So here we have two things. So if at all, if you are trying to understand both the concept, then it will be difficult. Or trying to match both the things with this one, then it will be difficult. So we know delta O. With that concept, we'll try to understand where the electron has to be filled. What is this delta O? Delta O is nothing but splitting of or the extent of energy difference between T2G set and EG set. So in this condition, they are telling delta O is less. If delta O is less, then what happens? So I think we have completed this one. So I'll erase this part. So if at all, if delta O is less, I'll write that one, that condition here. Delta O is less than P. Then what happens? Delta O is less, this is less. If that is less, then the orbitals will be closer. So already 3 electrons are here. Fourth electrons. If delta O is less, then the fourth electron, if it is less, the fourth electron, whichever is coming, so straight away it goes here. It is because pairing energy is more. So if at all, if it has to pair it up, then it should possess more energy to get paired up. So rather than undergoing repulsion, it will move to the higher energy level, that is the Eg level. So the condition first, if delta O is less than P, so remember this thing, if delta O is less, the orbitals will be very closer. So the fourth electron, whichever comes, rather than pairing up here and getting undergoing repulsion, so since the distance is very less, it will be, the energy also will be very less. So the fourth electron will be paired up here. The fourth electron will be moving to Eg set here like this. That is first condition. So when this delta O will be less, in our earlier class we have studied, if delta O is less, that indicates that the ligand is an weak field ligand. What it is? The delta O is less, that means that the ligand is an weak field ligand. In a weak field ligand, rather than undergoing pairing, the electron will move to Eg set. That is nothing but it will be moving to the higher energy set. Then what about the spin here? Weak field ligand, we know high spin complex. But check here, plus half, plus half, plus half, plus half. So the spin value is also, the magnitude of spin is also increasing. So we can say that, so it is showing a high spin, or it leads to high spin complex. So regarding this one we are discussing A, where the condition delta O is less. Delta O is less, fourth electron will move to up. So if the delta O, that is crystal field stabilization energy, is less, then weak field ligand, it forms the high spin complex. Next, one more condition, the second condition will move on to. So in the second condition, the second condition is delta O is greater than P. So at that time what happens, the delta O, if it is greater, then they'll be very far. They'll be very far from one another. At that time the electrons, whatever is there, so it is in the ground state and it is the higher energy state now. So if delta O is very far, they are very far. Rather than going there, the fourth electron will get paired up here only. It is going to pair it up here only. So if delta O is more, that is extent of splitting, if it is more, then we call that one as a strong field ligand. And what about the spin? Plus half minus half cancels, plus half plus half. So the value, when compared to that one, the value is less here. So we can call that one as low spin complex. And how to write the electronic configuration? We shall write that electronic configuration. This is T2G set and this is EG set. So T2G and EG. T2G, how many electrons? 1, 2, 3. 3 electrons here. Here only 1 electron, like this. So how to write the electronic configuration for this one? The electronic configuration is T2G and EG. T2G, how many electrons? 2, 3, 4. 4 electrons. EG, we don't have any electrons. So this is the electronic configuration in octahedral complexes. Possibility for weak field ligand and strong field ligand. So this is about the splitting in octahedral complex.